can choose from. Some are going to spend money on 2 or 3 of our products. Some are only going to buy one. Some are going to say no to Zenith and yes to the next product. Some are going to say yes to Zenith, no to the next product. You don't know, right? And so the cool thing is the company provides you, right, a pipeline of products or services. We're a product company with really cool programs attached that are coming. But really what matters is how do you get people to keep reordering, right? We have a call that's coming this Friday that I am going to have for you guys by probably around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Don't quote me. You'll have the how to use Zenith right. You know, some people have, they're on antacids, and so they have low stomach acid. And some people are really thin and they're trying Zenith and not getting the result they expect. All kinds of things that are factors that we're going to help them with. That's what that call's for. That's not for tonight. Once we explain all those things and you get your customers to get the results, whether it's, I don't like to swallow pills, open the capsules. We have a stick delivery coming soon for Zenith as well. That's not the surprise product, but we're working on a stick pack that they can pour into and make a beverage out of if they don't want the capsules, all kinds of stuff, right? So just keep in mind that call is to help you get the people who are ordering now to keep ordering and get the results, right? Some will reorder, but I'm going to tell you this straight up because it happened to me in multiple companies. I've sold skincare in 3 companies. 3% on average of skincare, no matter what the ingredients, even if they're all natural and organic, people will be allergic. Their skin will reject it. Their body will reject it. It's a normal fact. Anyone here sell skincare? Raise your hand. Yes, you're going to have people that have hives and rashes, and you use it and your skin looks not wrinkled anymore. And they go, well, mine still looks wrinkly. Well, then the product doesn't work for their DNA and chemistry. Zenith won't be a one size fits all. It will be for an enormous number of people, but there will be people. I have someone who had a gastric bypass who uses it and loves it and is getting great results. Another person, it's too much fiber for their tiny little peanut stomach. So we have given them information to lower their dose. And guess what? Now they're getting great results. I've had people get bloated their first week. I talked to a woman today and she said, I'm really bloated and miserable. And I said, are you drinking the 8 glasses of water? Just be honest. She said, no. I said, you are putting 3 different types of amazing viscous non-fermentable fibers into your system. And most people, especially in America, are fiber deficient in their diet. So when you introduce that to the body, sometimes the body, all it does is it gets a little mucked up, right? And so it gets a little bloated. It doesn't mean they gained weight. They're gaining water weight. They're holding water because their body's like, what's going on? Their digestion just needs a moment. And so I said to her, drink the more water, back off of a little bit of it and watch what happens. Of all the people I've done that with, they're getting the results. So what I'm saying is you're going to have, whether we launch, when we do want to launch skincare, when we launch a skincare, we're going to have people that just can't use it or return it. Zenith will have people who can't use it and return it. We will literally, thanks, Alyssa. We will literally have people use our surprise product and say it's not for them. That's okay. Everybody set in your mind now, 100% of the orders that come into your organization will not continue reordering. Do you know the reorder rate currently in the industry of direct sales? The average reorder rate is 26%. Most companies hover at about 30 to 35. Pretty good. I'd like to see us at a 50% or higher reorder rate. Really, truly, I'd love to see that. But here's what I care about is your organization, because you can be in a group and have great organizational volume and then have a group that in the company that's not in momentum. Why is that? Because they're either not working with their customers to create the right customer experience, right? When you sign someone up, you don't just let them go. If they need to be, you need to troubleshoot with them. Are you doing what the clinical study said? All that kind of stuff we're going to talk about on Friday. Are you moving? Are you dieting? Are you just eating pizza and beer? Like there's so many factors. Are you on antacids? Are you not drinking water? Do you drink a lot of alcohol? Guys, I don't care how much alcohol, how many Zenith they take. It does not take away the effects of alcohol. Alcohol has to be burned off first. It's always going to burn off first before the body taps into stored fat. And then you're just going to have people that have poor digestion. So that's why we have a stick pack coming. So we have some really cool stuff coming Friday. This call is about building a sustainable business and how can you do that? Well, the company can provide and will provide different product lines that are coming out. We're really excited about the one that I just said, the surprise one, and we're very excited about the one that will launch around convention. We're hoping to launch it at convention. By the way, it looks like we're going to be, I can't tell you for sure, but it looks like we finally found a place in the United States that will hold 4,000 people. And it's at the end of April. So tentatively, I haven't signed an agreement yet, tentatively, but it's on hold. It's going to be in Charleston, South Carolina. So stick with me. Charleston's one of my favorite places on the planet. It's where we're moving to. So it's kind of ironic. And we're holding the date for the 26th through the 30th. We have other places held, but I'm going to tell you now, we are not wanting to, let's say there's some Miami facilities. The problem is it's $400 a night for room rate in a lot of these places. We want to make it affordable, and we want to make it so we have enough people to go. So because we are doing an event so quickly after launch, we want to make sure there's enough room, and we'll be doing Toronto, and I don't have the Toronto dates. So keep in mind that is what potentially is where and when we're doing it. I do not want you posting on Facebook that we're going to Charleston. I'm telling you very clearly on recording, it is tentatively, it's our number one choice right now. We really want to be mindful of people's cost out of pocket. We would have loved to done it in March. So many places, it was just like between February and March, there was so much going on at play. They only had room for 2,500. We're going to sell out day one. So we didn't want you guys to be upset and say, well, why did you not, find a place with more rooms? So keep in mind, Orlando was packed and some of the room rates were insane, Angie. So we're working on it. It's looking good. And then we're working on doing a huge convention in the fall that we're talking about now. So you'll have 2 this year, not just 1. More of like a kickoff convention, right? And then fall to really kick off the fall winter season. Cool stuff. That will help you build your business, right? Plugging people into events, getting them to learn and grow and believe, meet the scientific advisory board. These are all things that help. However, more importantly, when you have this pop and then you have a drop, what do you guys think the answer is to what you do? I want to see if anyone knows. What's the most important thing to do in your organization to make sure that you have sustainable growth? It's so easy. Crystal said, stay consistent. Martin said, recruit. Okay, so you guys know. You consistently have to get your messaging out. Your messaging, thank you, everyone's doing great, is your 8421, as I call it, which has helped me make a fortune in the industry, which is try and get 8 people a day to take a look at what you've got. You could do that right through social media in one post. And then 4 people say to you, tell me more. Come on, that's not a lot. Do that consistently for 90 days. It's game-changing stuff that causes enough people to keep reordering and reordering that you build a passive income on work you did once. You continue to make money every time they reorder. That's the whole goal of passive income, right? When you buy a property, we have a property we bought cash a few years ago. I just said, you know what? I grew up poor. I grew up on food stamps, grew up with a single mom and a dad who wasn't around. And I always said, no one ever taught me how to do investments. No one ever taught me about balancing a checkbook really, or, how to make my money my slave, as Danny Johnson says. But I took it upon myself, just like I did in network marketing, to gather information from the best of the best who already were where I wanted to be. And then I went and I held myself accountable and I went for it. When I bought the condo 2 years ago, it was 2 years ago, it was 110,000 cash. I think it was 115,000. I offered 110 cash. This is me just learning, right? Just learning. I offered the cash and an under 30-day closing, and they took the offer, even though they had another offer, right? And then I said, okay, it's going to need some repairs. So we put, I think, 5,000 in repairs and made it an income property. Well, guess what? It pays income every month. And within a few years, what happens? 3, 4, 5 years, that loan is not loan, that property's making you your money back and then some. But I didn't have anyone teach me. I am self-taught, right? I didn't grow up in a family that played the stock market. I don't know any of those things, but I'm learning them. This is where you learn to get really good at direct sales. Just like I'm really interested in learning more about, stocks and bonds and what's smart right now, because it's very volatile. And Should I be into, we do a little crypto, but I don't want to put too much, right? There's all these things you could do. But if you don't have passive income or you don't have disposable income, you won't ever be able to do those things. I kept that at the forefront of my mind all of these years. I just said, I want to get to the point where I can give to my church freely, give to friends and family that are in need, right? Give to people that are hurting. But I also want to be able to say to my kids and grandkids, I taught myself and we built a real estate portfolio. You can grow up on food stamps and freaking government cheese like me. You have zero excuses. You can grow up in a really dysfunctional, broken house and still do great things with your life. Stop using that as a reason to not do this. There are a lot of things that you can be doing right now to grow your business that you probably have no idea about, which is why I started the company. I want you to not go spend thousands elsewhere. I want you to get it for free here so that you can just take the money you're making and either pay down your debt, or if you're debt free, go start investing your money so you can have a passive income coming in. I was speaking with one of my business partners. We were talking the other day and I was joking about this certain thing that I wanted. And I said, I still can't do it. Like I don't, in my mind, not that I still think I'm poor, but I'm not going to spend the money on it. He goes, well, don't. He goes, wait till you have such and such property that you buy, right? One day. And it turned, and he gave me numbers and he was teaching me because he's an investor. And he goes, and then when it's throwing off $12,000 a month in interest, meaning you're getting that much back, he goes, buy that thing you wanted and then take the rest and live off of that. And I was like, oh, yes. And this is the stuff I'm like a little girl going, yes, yes, yes. I want to learn. I want to learn how to make my money make money for me. And I want you to know I was $750,000 in debt, losing my home and literally running from the repo guy 12 years ago when I joined. You can be almost $1 million in debt like me, but I just stayed the course in network marketing and I learned to build a sustainable business, which means 8421, 8421, 8421 until you 8421 your head off. Get your license plate to say it. Get a tattoo on your forehead that says it. Because if you peak interest with 8 people a day and four of them say, what is it? Yes, I want to know more. That's all you need. You only need 4 of the 8 to say, what is it? Tell me more. How many will open the links? The 4 links you send, which is the video. How many will tell you will open it? 2 will. And how many will buy? 1. If you do 8 a day, 5 days a week for the next 3 months, you will have enough people reordering this product and the next product that's coming out that you won't stress so much about your mortgage or your credit cards being maxed. I'm telling you, it's little bits at a time that eats the what? The elephant. Little bits at a time, but it's sustainable. You have to keep going. Persistence. Oh, someone returned the product? Oh, well, keep going. In my last company, we had people saying things about the product that were horrific. Jay knows it, and a bunch of people that are on, and we stayed. Why? We believed in the product, and we knew some people weren't going to be able to use it, and some were. And we kept going. And the people that quit, a lot of them came back and said, crap, I wish I never quit. I can't believe you guys went to 710 million in our first 5 years. My group did 580 million of that. Let's go. You think your group can do 500 million of weight loss and the next thing we got coming? Yup. Are there going to be people who quit? Yup. Just accept it now. Are you going to have times where it's no fun and you got to play customer service? Yes. Do you think it's just free money? You shouldn't. It's not free money. You don't just sign up in a company, hit a big boom and sit there and it goes great. And you go to the top and you sit there and eat bonbons. It just doesn't work that way. Like the reality of network marketing is it's work. And some days it, excuse my French, sucks. And some days it's absolutely amazing. The goal is to have really good days, a lot more than you have really bad. Some of that lies on corporate making good decisions. Some of that lies on you running your business like a real multi-million-dollar business before it becomes one, right? Treat it with respect, treat it like a business. And some is knowing in every company, there's going to be stuff that happens. There'll be manufacturing failures. There'll be shipping. Let me give you an example of something we can't control. We had over 700 packages of 30,000 of them lost by the USPS. I want you to do that in your head again. 720 or ish packages completely lost that we're shipping out. We've reshipped that we have to eat as a company. And you're like, who cares? It's not my company. That's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying to you, you're going to have lost packages. You're going to have people who are upset. You're going to have people who, they don't want to stay on the product. They don't like the company. It's part of the business. If you think you're going to go to another company and have it be a breeze, you're wrong. And that's why people quit. If your expectation is that you won't have issues, you won't build a sustainable business. I built sustainable businesses in 3 companies, made millions doing it for one reason only outside of my mindset: persistence. I stayed the freaking course. It is super hard. Yes, it is your company, Judy. Thank you for saying that. I hope that's how you look at it. I hope you fight the battles with me. We've had an extra special battle with some people that we know who they are now, who have been putting out horrible articles about us, but we know who they are now, and they're going to serve their justice. However, doesn't stop me. I don't lose sleep at night. Do you? Maybe. Then your mindset needs to be adjusted. Because even without that, let's say we never faced that, you still would have people that have something negative to say. You'll still have people who don't want you to succeed. It's just the way it goes. Listen, let me give you a good example of something that isn't controllable. I had to make a call today does anyone know Michael Jordan's Steakhouse? You know, the famous basketball player, Michael Jordan. Last night was my family got together for my birthday, and we had a nice dinner, 11 of us, just, family at Michael Jordan's. And I did a good job. I barely looked at my phone at dinner. I was very proud of myself because I always am checking for you guys, making sure you guys are okay, but I did good. I had my zenith, so I barely ate, literally didn't even order an entree. I was picking on stuff, getting super full, which I love, had a little bit of alcohol, but I felt great. And I love how in control I feel when there's tons of food on a table and I still feel great. That's why I love zenith. So I get home. Scott and I are ready for bed. We got home at like 11 o'clock. It wasn't too late. And at about 11:45, I go, I feel nauseous, like really nauseous, like worse than when I was pregnant years ago, nauseous. I feel really don't feel right. I go to the ladies' room. I'm like, something's not right. I start cold sweating, guys. I have no idea at this point that I ate bad oysters, right? I have no idea what's happening. So I go up to bed and I'm like, babe, it's so bad. And I just laid in bed last night, guys. Like, when you're fighting nausea and eventually your watery mouth and you run to the bathroom, excuse my French, I start hurling. It was 1:30 in the morning. I don't even know. I'm so embarrassed that I put the fan on in the bathroom. I don't want my husband to hear me hurling. And I'm sick as a dog all night. I was in bed all day today till about 1 o'clock, like sick, everything. I text my family in the morning. All 4 people who ate oysters, all four people either had vomiting or diarrhea. Bad. So I got to call the restaurant. Now, mind you, Michael Jordan's is a top-notch restaurant. And I have to tell them, your oysters made us sick, right? So understand that that's a vendor failure. They can't control that, right? Unless maybe they could. Maybe they left them in a warm room. Highly doubt it. It was one of the worst things I've been through in years. It was that, like, I don't even think I want to ever have an oyster again. And I used to love raw oysters. So here's a top-notch place serving us. We go home. I consider that a vendor failure. It's not their fault. They were given bad oysters. I let them know because I found out today they're tagged and they can trace the batch. Great. I don't want anyone to go through what we went through. I have a feeling a lot of people did. But that doesn't stop me from doing business with that restaurant. We've been going for years. We know it. We know that it was a freak thing. It's the same thing in network marketing. You have to take all of the good and look at what the bad is. If a company gets to the point where they're consistently incompetent, you're right. You shouldn't be doing 8421. Okay. You shouldn't be building in a company that has been, I would say, for over a year or more, been so incompetent that there's nothing that makes you feel confident anymore. But until that time, you have to adjust your attitude and your mindset to this. If you have an expectation that it's going to be easy, if you have that expectation, you're going to quit. If you remember this call and you say, Danielle said it's not going to be easy at times, that there will be things to overcome, there will be issues. Look, when COVID hit, a lot of companies went out of business. You know why? They weren't building online. They were doing belly-to-belly hotel meetings, in-home parties. Thank God in my last company, we did everything online, right? And so in building a sustainable business, which is really what this whole training is when the pop comes, that's wonderful. Celebrate it, be excited. When the drop comes, say that's normal. We got to get people where they're reordering to get a passive income. I need happy customers. If I don't have happy customers, we get to product questions and ask how to troubleshoot them. You work with your customer base because the customer matters most. If you're thinking you're just going to build a whole downline of what we call distributors, you're dead in the water. Number one, the FTC absolutely hates that, and so do I. A real customer base is what matters in a direct selling company, actually in any company. Happy customers equal a brand that really thrives. We have people that aren't happy with certain things. We've grown too fast. We can't even keep up right now with customer support. But it's a good problem to have, because I'd rather have it this way and not be able to keep up than be like in 2 companies ago. I was in a company, had tons of customer support, tons of overhead, tons of offices all over the world. And guess what? We couldn't get people to order for our life depended on it. When they did, they barely reordered. And most of the time we were doing specials on product that was going to expire. Most of you know that's the case in most companies. What do they do promos on? The product that's about to expire because they can't get it out the door fast enough. We have the opposite. Our next product, I believe, will do the same. The surprise product that we're working on, when that comes out, that product, I believe, is going to make us go through a second momentum very quickly. And yes, you'll have a lot of reorders. But again, if that's the only thing you bank on is that pop, and you don't work on making sure you follow up, did you like the product? Is it working? How can I help you tweak it to be better? Danny Johnson, one of my favorite mentors of all time, she's incredible. She did 6 figures in 6 months. If you haven't read that or listened to that on, I used to have it on CD, which is really scary, but get the Audible version, 6 figures in 6 months. She tells you like it is. You want to make great money. You want to be at 6 figures. You better make sure you follow up with all your customers. And if they're not happy, don't you dare make excuses. What you say is, let me get the answers for you, or here's the answers. Here's the fact sheet. I have a fact sheet coming for you guys that people, probably 85% of people who maybe are not getting the results they had hoped for right away, we're able to tweak it and they're going to be good to go. And then you're going to have people go, no, 6 figures in 6 months, Kelly, not weeks. That would be nice. And you're going to have people that, like I said with the skincare, are never going to be able to use the product. Some people have had lap band. Some people don't digest fiber because they have really poor gut health. That is not something you can control or me. That is not our bad, right? That's a symptom of a society that a lot of people have leaky gut and poor digestion and poor immunity, because gut health is where your immune system is. Does this make sense? Because I'm setting the tone for you and the expectation. Understand that you're going to go, well, all right, so if my team brings in 1,000 customers in the next, let's say, 3 months, there will probably be 2 to 3%, let's just say, that never can use this product. That's pretty normal. Sometimes it's as high as 4 or 5%. But the average for just skincare alone is 3%. On supplements, because there's multiple herbs that people can be allergic to in products, that's not our product I'm talking about, but there are people who get on a certain herbal remedy and they get sick. And it's as natural as the grass outside. So I want you to get this. We're going to launch a lot of things and not everyone's going to be happy, right? That's why the guarantee is there. Get them a refund, make them happy, make them whole, and then bring out the next thing we've got and let them know, well, if that wasn't good for you, here's another cool, amazing thing we have for you. This is a sustainable business process. This is 8421. Peak interest with 8 people a day, 5 days a week. That's 40 people a week. 4 of them every day, on average, will say, send me info. If you do it right, that's 20 a week that you would send the link to. If you follow this, guys, it's the recipe for success. Of those 20, only 10 will open them. And out of those 10, how many will order? About 3 to 5. That's pretty darn good. And it doesn't have to go on for long, because once you've done that for 90 to 100, let's just say 60 to 90 days. When you've done it for 90 days straight, maybe 60, you'll go, oh, I've got some, at least some little checks coming in consistently. Yeah. And then most of it's residual, Danielle. Yup. Most of those people I talked to 3 months ago, or my team did, and they still love the product. Great. That's a base. That's what we call your foundational business. That's where your passive income starts rolling in. Then a company comes out with another product. What happens? Some of these consumers go, I'm trying the next thing. And up comes your auto ships or your reorders, right? Now they order more. There's a bigger foundation of base income. The base income grows to the level of how much are you making sure these customers are happy and satisfied, right? And the company helping you. And how much are you helping introduce the new product lines out to the world by your mouth, by your fingers, like be a keyboard warrior, and go out and share it. Go on text on your phone and send out the proper scripts to get them to know what's now available for them to buy. What that foundation is that I'm talking about, and most of you don't know this, but I'm going to teach it to you. I learned it years ago. It's called a distribution channel. We have a distribution channel right now in our company of over 45,000 people, right? Customers and reps, okay? I'm just throwing that number out there. It's about where we're at. Of that 45,000, if we were just to bring out a new product today, a good portion would buy that just because they're in the company, they've already been buying, and they want the next thing, right? Not all, but even that happens for you guys. You see the company brought out this new hair dryer, and the next thing they came out with this set of amazing curlers. I'm just going to go with the ladies, right? And we go, well, I love that brand, probably another great thing, right? That's a distribution channel. We've got a distribution channel started. It's a bigger pipeline than we could have imagined really quick. But you've got this base of users. When a company brings in a new product, that distribution channel grows. And when you open new countries, it expands and expands. It goes regionally, right? Nationally, and then it goes internationally. When we go international outside of Canada, which we will, you'll have a chance to have a whole new run with Zenith. We'll do the stick pack in Asia because they don't like pills. So we will have, you will be able to start your business again. Beth Pyland and I did a training on this in our last company. And it's like starting over. You've got your base, right? And then a new country opens and it's like you're starting over in the US and Canada, but now you're starting in, let's say, Taiwan. And somebody knows somebody knows somebody. Well, I don't know anyone in Taiwan because I didn't. Guess what? My team had the biggest Taiwanese, Japanese, Chinese, Hong Kong. My group was the largest Asian group in the company. I didn't know anyone outside of the US that was Asian. I didn't. Guess what? Didn't have to. Somebody knew somebody who knew somebody, and I was really good at 8421ing it. And I made sure all my people that wanted the business to go for them, I taught them 8421, and everyone was talking to everyone. And eventually our group talked to the most people. Therefore, we brought in the most business to the company. Therefore, we had the highest commissions in the company. It is that simple. Problems will come. Storms will come. Vendors will fail at times. Packages will get lost. People will be allergic or sick, whatever it is. I'm just giving you the straight up truth that most people don't want to hear. And if you really do listen to what I'm teaching you and you just say, I'm going to stay the course, I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to build this thing to the level, you're never going to be able to build it on hype. The hype we had, hi girls, the hype we had was based on how fast we were exploding. We weren't creating it, it just happened. Like, it was exciting. And now we're where the rubber meets the road. Now we got a company that has a lot of testimonials pouring in that people are excited about. Sure. I've actually had to stop pulling in testimonials because people weren't believing it was true. We had the opposite effect. We had so many people going, look at me in 1 week, people going, that's not true. No, that can't be real. So we actually had people going nuts on us on our testimonial page saying they're liars. I had to shut off comments. That's not true. Or someone saying, well, I'm not losing weight. Well, are you doing what the clinical study said? Are you dropping 500 calories a day and walking and you drinking the 8 glasses of water? 95% of the time, they're not even dieting. They're not moving. They're not drinking water, and they're not using the product correctly. But yes, there will be a handful. It's not for them. And it will be with our next product and our next product and our next product. I was in a company for a short period of time. And at the same time, one of my friends said, you got to come over to this company called Monet or Monat. I don't know how to say that. Monet is how you say it, guys? They're like, oh, it's the greatest thing. It's going to be the best shampoo ever. Does everyone remember what happened with that company? People's hair was falling out. They got sued. You know what? They're still crushing it. I don't even know the truth of that story, so I can't give you that. I'm not going to speak for them. I knew a lot of people who quit, and I know a lot of people who stayed, and they wrote it out, and they're still making kick butt incomes. Michelle uses it. I hope it's Monet that I'm saying it right. I was one of the people when the woman brought it to me and said, come join our team, look at our hair. And I was looking at their photos like, oh, because I have pretty good hair. But I was like, who wouldn't want better hair? Then I went, oh, I don't know if I want to try that product. I want my hair to fall out, right? That's what happens. So stop complaining about people putting negative comments and start being grateful that we monitor that stuff and we send them to product questions. You can ask questions. We're not saying you can't. You do it with the professionals. You don't do it with a bunch of human beings that don't know anything about the science behind the products. So we had the opposite effect. We had these people being negative about too many people looking good and saying, well, why didn't it happen for me in week one? Because not everyone's going to have that in week one. So I've actually had to pull back on how many great testimonials. Like, who would think that would ever happen? Oh, there's too many great responses, right? But it's really, truly, and read some of the comments. These are top leaders who've either been in Monet or been in a company. Our CEO, Rodney, he was in a company that the glass bottles were bursting during shipment. Do you guys remember that? I think it was Zango years ago, and it was a big to-do. And that wasn't their fault, the company. It was how they were manufactured and what they were shipping it in. And that caused a huge controversy and lawsuits. One of the fastest growing to $1 billion ever in network marketing history, Zango. And they hit massive issues. Nu Skin, Herbalife. You guys know how much Herbalife does a year? How much have they been in the news? How much have they been sued? Herbalife, $3.2 billion a year right now. Nu Skin, 2.8 to 3.1 billion. And they've been through hell. I was talking to someone the other day about it, and he said every customer service agent that he knew while he was at Nu Skin, he was a C-level exec. He said the customer service agents would go, I think this company's going out of business because all they fielded was problems. Well, most people don't call customer service if there isn't a problem, but the rate of problems they were having was really high. The company's one of the most sustainable, most incredible companies in the industry. It's been around forever, for decades. And you know what? People model themselves after Nu Skin. Do you think they haven't had tons of resistance, ton of issues? So what I'm saying is I'm not trying to say, hey, accept what happens in this company or another. And yeah, sometimes you don't have to accept it if it's somebody's incompetency. Sure. What I'm saying is it's absolutely delusional, and it truly is. I say, if you believe in something but you don't work at it, it's just delusion. A dream without action is delusion. It's the same thing to think that you're going to join and build something sustainable and not go through the ups and downs. I want you to have many more good days than bad. I want you to have much more growth than loss. That's the goal, right? We want it to be as excellent of an experience as possible. And we're working double time, if not triple time, to do that for you guys as we build this thing. But we're a baby, we're an infant. And if you really get your mind right now, the people in startup usually become super blessed. And what I mean by super blessed is super blessed. Now, I'm going to move my phone for a second to read something. Can you guys still hear me if I do this? You guys, wait a minute. When I left, were you able to still hear me? Okay, I'm going to read you something. Hold on. I screenshotted this the other day on Facebook from a top leader, and I thought it was such a very insightful, I hope you can hear me. Okay. Here it is. And if I come back and you tell me you didn't hear it, I'll just post it. This guy named Dino wrote, working with startups, no matter if corporate side or distributor side, is for the people. If you're on the corporate side or the distributor side, you have to be not afraid to dedicate months and years of your life to simply work 24/7. It takes much more time, dedication, and other skills, but as long as you understand the mission and the vision and what outcome is coming, you are good to go. What I learned is that most of the people bought into network marketing with a mindset that the business will be fairly simple. It is for sure simpler without getting into a startup, but the reward in a startup is most of the time much bigger when you have to go through those challenges. Bigger the challenge, bigger the reward, bigger the payout. But it takes a big boy or a big girl to go through the startup for sure. And I want to make sure when I come back on, you heard that? Yes? Whee! All right. Thank you, Terry Phillips. What he said was so spot on to what I've learned in 12 years is startups are bumpy, startups are rough, but people who stay through the startups and get their mind that it's going to be more challenging than coming into something that's already built and running, smooth as can be, guess what? That's when most of your neighbors know about it. That's when most of the women at church know about it. That's when most of the men have already started it, already tried it, or already heard about it. And then you have a different problem. That problem is trying to get someone to try it when they already know about it, have already used it, or have already heard about it from their friend. So in this entire training tonight, which I have a few more minutes for you, I want you to get a few things. This was a reality check, but let's talk the really important dream behind it. Your dream fuels you to push through the stuff that's not fun, and it's what fuels you during the good times to not get lazy and to continue to make sure your team is piquing interest, aka doing the 8-4-2-1. If you don't do 8-4-2-1, what can you do? You can do 3 a day, 2 a day. I can tell you right now, it's a numbers game all day. If anyone tells you this isn't a numbers game, they're wrong. You got to build it with your heart. You have to be a servant leader and look for people who have issues and help them, offer them a solution. But if you think for a minute you can talk to 3 people and your business is going to explode, it's just not true. Or if you think you could just sit back and lay off the gas because we had a really great startup with a big boost of business, it's not sustainable. What's sustainable is staying the course. So 8-4-2-1, I'll recap it because a few people must have come on late. If you pique interest with 8 people a day, that could be one post on Facebook that 8 people have seen. And if 4 people on Facebook say, tell me more, Terry, tell me more, Tara. What are you talking about, Lauren? What's that in your hands, Jim? I can't see the label. Good. We don't want them to see the label. We want them asking you for more info so you can privately send them a 3-minute video and get them on with one of your upline if you need help. And if you do that, 4 people a day that you send a link out to, 5 days a week for your first 90 days, you will have enough of this repeat business, as we call it, right? That you will actually spit out a little check every week that you can be proud of. That over a month, maybe it's $800 a month, maybe it's $500 steadily. Maybe it's your car payment steadily. Maybe you're able to, I don't know, pay the tuition for your grandkid or your niece. Maybe you're able to take care of your in-laws who are ill. Maybe you're just paying down your debt. God bless you. I've been there. It's really nice to pay down debt with money that you don't have to use for your bills because you have something coming in from your side gig that you can just funnel towards paying down debt. Well, if that's your goal, then peak interest with 8 a day. Make sure at least 4 people on average that week, 5 days a week, so 20 people that week, that you send out at least 20 links that week, and that at least 10 of them open the links, which most will. Half of them will open them, and bless you. And then you'll probably get 3 to 5 people to become a customer or a member in that week. You do that for 90 days, you cannot fail. You can't. I'm laughing at Alyssa's comment about the chickens. Do not post your link publicly. Do not say the company name publicly, and do not tell anyone the name of the product. You know why? Because all they do is Google it, and they see the people that are trying currently to hurt us, that we now know who they are and we have proof of what they're doing. They're just going to see those fake news articles. I'm working on that. You have to trust your owners. We know who it is. We got it. And they'll probably see this video. We already know. And we thank you for being dumb enough to put it in emails and say it out loud in places you shouldn't have. We thank you for that because you gave us enough. Thank you. So that stuff we're going to handle. But even if there wasn't that, every company I've been in had some sort of negativity online, right? So stay with me. Do you want them to go to eBay and find it because someone threw it there, even though we police eBay? Do you want them to go to Amazon and get it? No, you want them coming to you. So if you pique interest in a way that's mysterious and you don't satisfy their curiosity, no, they're not smart, Tanya. I'm not going to say who they are, but I'll tell you, we know who they are, and we're thankful for the people who brought us all the evidence. So just TikTok, little matter of time, we're handling it. So God doesn't like ugly. Just remember that. So what we want you to do is pique interest so well and so mysteriously that someone says, hey, Tara, and I keep picking on you, Tara and Terry, because you guys are right in my line of sight. But Tara, I love that before and after. What product is the Z? Can you send me info? Yes, I will. And then you private message her, right? Which would be me. And then you say, take a look at this quick. It would take 15 minutes to share it. Just watch the video. And then I could put you in the testimonial page. You get to see everything that's been going on. It's incredible. That's it. And usually they want to buy right away. You satisfy their curiosity once you've sent the link privately, whether it's phone, text. I don't like email, but if they really want it via email, great. And if they have questions you can't answer and you don't have the documents supporting for them, You go to your upline immediately. And if you don't know your upline blue diamond or black diamond by now, shame on you. You all need to know who your upline blue diamonds and black diamonds are. And you are to keep asking the people above you until you get the info. Why? Because if you want this bad, you'll never be able to do it without a mentor. If I didn't have my several mentors these 12 years that literally I went to for everything, I would have bailed on this industry a long time ago. I would have quit because there were days I was so discouraged. I thought, I just can't do this. And you're looking at someone who's now just hit cumulatively 8 figures in the industry from staying the course, for keeping my dream alive, for fighting through the negativity, for fighting through the bad days, for fighting through when people quit my team or when a product launch sucked, excuse my French. I could name you so many bad things that happened, and yet so much good came out of it. And so it's one of those things where it's not a black and white thing in this industry, nor is it if you open your own small business. Who has a small business? How many of you have small businesses? I had 3 small businesses with my ex-husband, and we did good. But let me tell you, having a brick and mortar, way more painful than this. Having somebody trying to shovel this Pilates studio that we owned, the ice, and then we had Dunkin' Donuts customers parking in our lot. So our people they were late for class because the Dunkin' Donuts people were overflowing into our lot. We got into a legal fight about it. Then I had to hire a bouncer. He looked like a bouncer, literally. And he was an ex-Navy SEAL that I knew from high school. He had to put cones out on Saturday mornings and on the weekend and on Sunday mornings to block those Dunkin' Donuts people. So my people had parking spaces to get into class. I had ice storms hit and then the plow guy's not coming. A lady slip on the ice and want to sue us. I can tell you, if you've been in any startup or you've done any small business, your dream has to be bigger than the problems that you face, because those problems will either take you out or they will take you to the top. And you have to be able to manage discouragement. Discouragement is the number 1 reason people quit. Do you guys know that? It's not fear. Discouragement is the number 1 reason people quit. Fear is the number 1 reason people fail. They fail to start. They fail to keep going. Discouragement is just, I can't. I'm too fed up and frustrated. It's true. I hope this is valuable. I know a lot of you are like, Danielle, I'd rather you just sing about unicorns and strum a ukulele and sing to us, but then I'm not being truthful. And I want you to get to your goals. So I gotta tell you straight up. I know Jim likes my state. Seriously, I'll sing for you and I'll do a little dance, but then I'm not being truthful. Then I'm not giving you the straight up about network marketing. I keep saying I'm going to write this book about network marketing, and I think half the companies will be mad at me for telling the truth. But I'm telling you guys the truth at Awaken because it's my company and I can. They probably wouldn't like my trainings because I'm giving you the goods. Guess what? Some days are going to stink and some days are going to be great. But overall, you're going to have more good days than bad days. And when your bills are being paid, which, by the way, no one's going to pay your bills for you. No one's coming to rescue you. Eventually, you're going to be like, it was worth every minute. It was worth every training. It was worth every 3-way call. It was worth dealing with these annoying people who are like babies in my downline and whine about everything. And it'll be worth it because you will have achieved your dream. And in order to achieve your dream, you've got to help a lot of people achieve theirs. You don't become a top earner without helping a lot of little people become really successful. So decide. It's a decision. Do you want to stay with me and keep going and build this thing to the moon? Then tell me that, Danielle, I'm going to do what you did. You've got to give a company 36 months of your time. And literally within 24, usually people go, that was the best thing I could have done was stay the course. By the 36th month, they're usually like, I can lay off the gas and really enjoy it right now. I could take a month off if I wanted and I'll still make X amount of money this month. It's so critical that I give you the truth, but also give you the little nuggets that helped me make a fortune. And the nuggets are, every time your mind needs to be straightened out, let me tell you, I've had days with Awaken that had nothing to do with you guys and had everything to do with these ugly people who want us out of business. And I've had to have prayer warriors speak into my life and say, no, Danielle, not today, right? And you know what that does? That strengthens me. If you don't have somebody that you can call in your upline that speaks life into you, speaks over you, then let it be me. Let me speak life into you. Let me encourage you. But then you got to take that encouragement and say, okay, I'm going to renew my dream today and I'm going to go after it. I have days I need my attitude adjusted. just like everyone else. You're looking at a female in an industry of mostly men at the top. Sorry. And you're looking at a field leader that's a female that was a #1 earner for many years that left to open her own company and is a female in a mostly male dominated top of the, right? Am I wrong, Jay Forson? They're mostly men. And then when you take yourself as a woman and become a company owner, but then you used to be a field leader, oh, they really don't like you. But that's okay. I don't need to be liked. I need to do the right thing, and I keep my heart in the right place, keep my head right, and I gotta be more concerned about your dreams than mine. Because if I focus on you guys and helping you meet your goals, naturally my family and a lot of other people do well. You guys sign my checks. I don't sign yours. If I pour into you, you'll build the brand, right? It's your brand. But if I quit, I'm dead. I'm done in the water. And I won't let that happen. You can't quit either, or you're starting over elsewhere. The bottom line for all of us is we'd all have to start elsewhere. And if you start elsewhere, it's another set of problems. Something great that was said to me when I was getting divorced, and it was very sad. And she said, you do realize you're going to go to another relationship, there'll be a new set of problems. That was a pastor who said that. And I went, yeah. And she said, you'll take your baggage over there if you don't work on your baggage. I said, yeah. And you know what? Sometimes people are spot on, and she was. Sure, I'm married now and extremely happy, but we have things we work through. Does everyone agree you have to work at any relationship, even if it's your children, your siblings, your parents? It's so important you guys get this stuff. And I gotta hop off because I have a Facebook Live right now, but I want you to understand this is a business that can take you. You can go to the moon with this company. Or you could start elsewhere and probably do the same if you're in the right company at the right time. But it's your mindset. It's your ability to work on your discouragement. It's your ability to do the 8-4-2-1 and get in front of people. And as long as you do this, I'm telling you, the persistence is going to pay off. I love you guys. We'll do another one of these. I'm traveling to Utah to see our new office next week, so I will put a post up about what's happening when. But we'll do some lives from the office. You'll meet our team. I can't wait to meet everyone. And it's going to be an amazing week next week in Utah. Love you guys. I'll talk to you.